On May 30th, 2025, the world marks the second annual International Day of Potato, an observance established by the United Nations General Assembly in December 2023. The day serves as a global platform to recognize the potato's immense contribution to food security, nutrition, poverty alleviation, and climate resilience. The theme for 2025, Shaping History, Feeding the Future, is both timely and powerful. It underlines the critical importance of conserving the crop's vast genetic diversity, while also addressing future challenges in food systems such as climate change, monoculture vulnerability, and food inequality. Potatoes are not just tubers we mash, fry, or boil. They are vital food crops grown in over 150 countries. They are essential to global diets and livelihoods. In many regions, particularly in developing countries, potatoes serve as a lifeline crop due to their adaptability and nutritional value. But what makes potatoes especially important in today's world is their remarkable diversity and resilience. This video explores the theme of the 2025 observance in detail, covering the potato's historical significance, nutritional contributions, ecological advantages, economic role, cultural relevance, and the importance of conserving its genetic diversity for the future of global food systems. The story of the potato begins nearly 8,000 years ago in the highlands of the Andes Mountains, in present-day Peru and northwestern Bolivia. Indigenous peoples first domesticated wild varieties of the plant and developed thousands of cultivars over millennia. These early agriculturalists understood that diversity was the key to survival, especially in harsh mountain climates with unpredictable rainfall, temperatures, and pests. The global spread of potatoes began in the 16th century after Spanish explorers brought them to Europe. Over the next 300 years, the potato transformed diets in Europe, Asia, and Africa. It played a central role in population growth, as it produced more calories per hectare than most grains. The crop's reliability even contributed to the Industrial Revolution, allowing societies to redirect labor from agriculture to manufacturing and innovation. However, the overdependence on a narrow range of potato varieties led to tragedy. The Irish potato famine from 1845 to 1852, caused by the late blight pathogen Phytophthora infestans, killed over 1 million people and led to mass migration. This disaster highlighted the dangers of genetic uniformity, a lesson that remains relevant today. This part of the theme acknowledges how the potato has profoundly influenced civilizations over centuries. From its early cultivation in the Andes to its pivotal role in European population booms, and from its part in tragic famines to becoming a cornerstone of modern agriculture, the potato has shaped human history in unique ways. Its ability to support societies in times of growth and crisis makes it not just a crop, but a historical agent of change. Potatoes are one of the most promising crops for addressing world hunger and malnutrition. A medium-sized potato contains over 45% of daily vitamin C needs, more potassium than a banana, and around 3 grams of fiber. It is also naturally fat-free, gluten-free, and highly versatile in cuisines worldwide. Potatoes can grow in degraded soils, require less water than rice, and have shorter growth cycles than wheat or maize. This makes them ideal for smallholder farmers and countries with resource constraints. As conflicts, supply chain disruptions, and climate emergencies increase globally, promoting potato production becomes a beacon of hope for self-sufficiency and nutritional resilience. According to FAO statistics, global potato production in 2023 reached nearly 375 million metric tons. China remains the largest producer, followed by India, Russia, and Ukraine. In countries like Rwanda, Bangladesh, and Peru, potatoes are now primary staple foods. The crop supports millions of small-scale farmers. In India alone, more than 2 million hectares are devoted to potato farming. The crop is also integral to regional economies, especially in the northern states of Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and Bihar. Potatoes emit fewer greenhouse gases per calorie produced than rice, beef, or even dairy. They need less fertilizer and can be grown in rotational systems that reduce pest pressure and improve soil health. With climate-smart practices like drip irrigation, mulching, and using indigenous seed stock, potato farming can become one of the most sustainable staple food systems globally. The Potato Park in Peru, managed by 6 Quechua-speaking communities, is a globally acclaimed model of biocultural conservation. Covering over 1,200 hectares, it preserves more than 1,300 varieties of native potatoes and integrates indigenous knowledge with modern science. Women-led seed preservation banks and festivals ensure that diversity thrives across generations. The Central Potato Research Institute in India has introduced climate-resilient varieties like Kufri Himalini and Kufri Shailja. These varieties offer resistance to late blight and tolerate heat stress. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research has also collaborated with farmers to create potato clusters linked to processing units, boosting rural income. In Kenya, organizations like the International Potato Center have promoted the cultivation of orange flesh sweet potatoes rich in beta-carotene. These potatoes are now used in school feeding programs addressing vitamin A deficiency in children. Despite its promise, the potato sector faces several critical challenges. Monoculture dependence. A few commercial varieties dominate global supply chains. Lack of seed infrastructure, many farmers rely on informal seed systems, which can reduce yields. Climate change. Rising temperatures and erratic rainfall threaten yields, especially in tropical zones. Post-harvest losses. In some regions, up to 30% of potato harvests are lost due to lack of cold storage and transportation. Consumer perception. In high-income countries, potatoes are often stigmatized as junk food due to unhealthy preparations. To address these issues and fulfill the promise of shaping history, feeding the future, governments and international bodies must act on several fronts. Invest in public seed banks and community-based genetic conservation projects. Promote farmer training in agroecological practices. Integrate potatoes into school feeding, disaster relief, and poverty reduction programs. Create incentives for private sector investment in value-added processing and cold storage. Support international collaboration through platforms like FAO's One Country, One Priority Product Initiative. The International Day of Potato 2025 invites us to reflect not only on a humble tuber, but on the very structure of our food systems. In a world grappling with food insecurity, climate stress, and biodiversity loss, the potato stands as a resilient, inclusive, and hopeful crop. The theme Shaping History, Feeding the Future is not just a slogan. It is a call to action for governments, farmers, researchers, and consumers. We must reimagine agriculture, not as a factory model, but as a diverse, community-led, and nutrition-focused enterprise. By preserving the rich tapestry of potato varieties and empowering the people who grow them, we invest in a future where no one goes hungry and no biodiversity is lost to neglect. As we mark this international observance, let us recommit ourselves to building food systems rooted in diversity, resilience, and hope. From the peaks of the Andes to the plains of India, from Kenyan school lunches to urban gardens in Berlin, the story of the potato continues to feed bodies, preserve cultures, and inspire generations. Thank you so much for watching the video.